Hi, welcome one and all. It's your favorite clown, Dobby. So, apparently, some of my core childhood memories just straight up didn't happen. I learned. So we'll be discussing that today. Fun. I'm actually gonna start this one out with something that I know didn't happen while it was happening, or it'll make sense when I explain it. One time when I was camping, I was having this panic attack because I woke up from this really scary dream about what happens when you go to heaven and eternity and, what have you, everybody's existential crises and whatnot. So I went to the bathroom with my mom. I was a wee youngin' back then, probably about this tall, maybe a little shorter. And so anyways, when I was walking through the parking lots, because this is like, my mom calls it glamping because we're not really roughing it. There's a bathroom with shower stalls and whatnot and electricity in the bathroom. So anyways, I saw a van, and out of the back of the van, like the trunk part of the van, I saw a hand wiggle out. Looking back at it, that's definitely something that's impossible to happen. A hand cannot wiggle out of the back of a closed van because it would probably be severed or the back would be open. Also, that was the first time I ever had anxiety-induced hallucinations. So that's fun. Apparently that can happen. Speaking of camping-related dreams... Wait, not dreams. Oh, crap. Cut that out. Speaking of camping-related memories, specifically I remember, like it was just yesterday, there was this episode of Barney where the kids go camping with the big purple dinosaur. Everything's all good and fun. It's nighttime. And then they go through the woods or whatever, and they find a cave. I think they find a cave or something like that, and they're singing a song about watch out for bears or something like that. And then you see the bear. You see the bear. This is the part where it gets kind of boggled because so this episode actually existed, but the bear didn't look like how I thought it did, because when I was a kid, I thought... For some reason, I saw the bear looking a bit like this. So we have dark, beady eyes. We have, for some reason, a wig that a Portuguese grandma might wear, and I know because my Portuguese grandma, who we called Baba, wore a wig kind of like that. And the actual bear looked something like this. So I have no freaking clue why my kid brain saw that. Maybe it's because when the bear is further away, you can't see the details as well. So I think my brain just filled in the blanks. And since it was dark out, nighttime, I'm watching this on a really crappy TV, like box TV with the little knob that you turn to turn it on. I think my kid brain just filled in the blanks and came up with this monstrosity. Fun. Haha. This one's gonna be a bit harder to explain because I barely remember most of it. I just remember the thing. I used to watch Bear in the Big Blue House. For those of you who don't know, it's this guy, and he's big, and he's got a blue house. Every episode, they have different puppets, like Jim Henson-style puppets. I don't know if he made them specifically, but they do whatever thing the animals do in a kid show. But I remember one time, one of the puppets was really freaky looking. It looked like a cross between an axolotl, a jack-in-the-box, and an accordion, kind of. When I went to look this up many years in the future, because I was like, what was up with that? That was pretty messed up. This thing doesn't exist. This thing never existed. I looked up a website that shows every puppet that isn't part of the main cast that made appearances from other shows. This thing wasn't there. But, you know what looks a lot like this? The Biscoff puppet from that one commercial, who knows how long ago. And then I remember there was this episode of the Rugrats where they had to do a test of courage, and this should have really tipped me off that this just never happened, because one of them was about to enter the basement. When they look down into the dimly lit basement, they see a silhouette of the creature from Bear in the Big Blue House that never existed. So not only did I see this creature on Bear in the Big Blue House. I also saw it on Rugrats. And then I can't even find the episode of Rugrats. Maybe the episode exists where they go into the basement and see something scary, but I'm sure it's not what I saw as a kid. So there you have it. This last memory is the most frustrating. Freaking... Okay, this was the clearest out of all the other memories I told you about, besides the one where I hallucinated, because that one's really clear. I even vaguely remember the dream I had. But this one takes the freaking cake, because I remember what I did the lead up to this. I went to Blockbuster with my cousin and my sister. I rented a game that it was advertised as a Pokemon game for the GameCube. I thought it looked vaguely similar to Ruby and Sapphire, because on the back it showed, you know, how it shows gameplay screenshots. This just looked like Ruby and Sapphire. So I thought it looked fun, like, since it's for the GameCube, it must be different, you know? I take it to my cousin's place, put it in the GameCube, and to my dismay, it is strictly just Ruby and Sapphire, which I thought was really lame because I've already played Ruby and Sapphire on the Game Boy, you know, the good old Game Boy Advance SP. But this was just the same thing, the same exact game. I had to start a new game, you know, you're in the back of the truck. Wait, actually, maybe that was... Or was that Emerald that you start off in the back of the truck? I think it's all games, actually. You start in a truck. But, you know, you go inside, you have the Vigoroths moving everything around. I thought that this was kind of lame, but then years later, I was like, oh, that's really cool that they had Ruby and Sapphire, but for the GameCube. I tried to look this up. I looked for so long. This also didn't exist. The closest thing that exists, according to Reddit, is this game called Pokemon Box, where... It's kind of like Pokemon Bank, but for the GameCube, and you can hook up your Game Boy to it. It works as an emulator. So you can play, specifically, Ruby and Sapphire, no other game but Ruby and Sapphire, on your TV through the GameCube, but you need to hook up your Game Boy and you need to own the cartridge. And the reason why I'm insistent that this never happened in the dream is because... I don't even know if I brought my Game Boy that day. I don't remember hooking up the Game Boy. I had to start a new game. And I think if I were to just play Ruby and Sapphire on the TV, it would have started from my save file, which of course it would have. And it makes me so angry because every time I ask someone about it, my friend said that they have demo discs sometimes that you can play demos of certain games. I tried to look up Ruby and Sapphire demo disc, but the most I could find for this was some type of berry Zangoose, shiny Zangoose glitch, which that was another dead end. This just, I think I have to bite the bullet and admit that this one was a dream, that this never actually happened. I mean, maybe I actually did play Pokemon Box, but I'm not convinced that my kid brain would know to, like, why would I bring, you need your link cables. You need a specific link cable for that. Nobody else, my sister didn't have a Game Boy, my cousin didn't have a Game Boy, so why would I bring the link cables if I'm not going to trade or play Pokemon with anyone? If anyone out there has any information on this secret disc, maybe someone burned it onto a GameCube disc, made it playable, some evil scientist thought, let's ruin this one kid's life and make everyone think that they're crazy. But yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you whenever.